It's like one of those famous porn scenes where you get to sleep with the housekeeper.
Housekeeping? Where does that even come from? I don't even know, honestly.
Because they're Mexican?
Oh, is
Oh,
it
wait.
like the hello housekeeping? I don't know. I thought it
Oh,
was a movie or something.
oh, probably, yeah. What's up, dudes? Welcome to Twisted Toast. Oh man, what a week it's I can get to see you in Atlanta. Even this is
Need to know everything about this whole eyeball thing because I see your eye is perfectly fine.
my eye is great. Yeah, my wife is a mean bitch, and my kids are awful, and I'm disowning them, and
Oh,
I'm going after white women now.
I'm sorry that I brought that up.
It's okay. Um, you know, no one got to experience the pain that I got to feel. Scooped some salsa right in my eye, and I had to run to the bathroom to flush it out for
Oh,
about
that was why you had the patch on was from that?
yeah.
I'm thinking you got your eyeball gouged out
No.
because I have a
No,
story about that.
you got an eyeball patched out?
I almost gashed out my own eyeball with a screwdriver once.
Wait, you gotta tell me
Total
more.
freak accident.
What were you doing?
I was putting together a monitor stand for my monitor at the office, and I'm like, and I had my glasses on, and they were like the small little rectangular ones at the time. And I'm like looking at it, and the screwdriver was in my hand, and I just went like this to look closer, dude. It just went like right
Oh,
underneath my glasses, right into the corner of my eye, dude. I'm thinking like nothing. Oh, it was terrible. I went
mm.
to the eye doctor, and he's like, "You were this close to going all the way through."
Well, if I went to a doctor, I probably would have been told very much the same thing or worse.
Well, then they put this huge, so they in the back of the day, they would have put a patch on it, but now what they do is they put this ginormous clear contact on it, like a Band-Aid, like a
Yeah.
contact Band-Aid.
I thought you were gonna say they put a large cock on it, and I was like, well, that's is it black cock or white cock?
Hey, there's Asian, there's, Indonesian.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Did you I mean, it's scary. Your eye is the window to your soul, so
But so scary, I was like, I still think about it, and one of my patients is a nurse, and I call her, I was like, "Oh, dude, I don't know if I can see you because my eye is, like, just profusely watering, it's just insane, I can't even keep my eye open, I can't drive, I have
scary, Melba.
monovision, it's the worst thing ever." She's like, "Dude, you need to go see the doctor." I'm like, "Really?" She's like, "You could have metal in your eye," and I'm like, "Really?"
I mean, obviously my shit was a joke and it was making fun of me. And apparently I went to Andy Kaufman, and to Meta, and I had people that reached out to me that said, "Hey man, I've been following you for a long time, and I think that, you got your shit together and, you're gonna make it through this," and I'm like,
I seriously
"Thanks."
thought there was something wrong with your eye. I mean, you're just obviously being a baby.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm the biggest that's the whole joke. I mean, Cat is like, if anything, the slightest that's if slightest inconvenience. And it's true. And I'm trying to, work on that as a human being. And it's really hard to be a man um in a world of soup, uh equipped with forks. So I'm just over as I transition as I transition to Tristan or Trist or Tristanelle,
Kristen L, I like this one. Remember,
the
you're the MFG.
yeah, I appreciate that. We are you didn't get to experience the last Twisty after party of forever. So
Hey.
it went out with a whimper in Atlanta at the C&B.
Aw.
So
Well, I
those
think
that
that's how every good ending party should be, because that's the moment you realize it's not as cool as you thought it was.
I mean, it it still was fun. I look, I had a good run. I had an amazing run. Scottsdale, Phoenix, a lot of West Coast parties, Cal Jam. I mean, there's gonna be people that remember stuff and certain things. The night that Twisty came back from the dead, and everyone was like, "Man, if Twisty was here, we'd have bottle service and we'd have a table." And all of a sudden, uh, Pat our manager at Black Diamond Club turned around, and there was me looking like Jesus with two beautiful, gorgeous girls carrying bottles and a lighted up sign that said Cairo Sushi is here. And we had a table while everyone was waiting outside. And but it's over. It's no more. It's funny because Austin Cohen's event, I was telling people that your tribe is a reflection of who you are. And it was really interesting because there's a lot of clothes for Cairo guys that
Birds
that
of a
are that.
feather.
Yeah. And Austin is lovingly, and I mean this with all love, he's a nerd who goes to bed at night. I mean, he was really hanging in there trying to be up at like 9 p.m. at night.
That would be me too.
He's looking at all his data analytics on his heart rate variability, his stool monitoring system, his gut health. He's like, I'm optimized at 22%. I need to get sleep ASAP. And then, people are like, how the hell are you alive, dude? And I'm like, man, I'll tell you what are the two things that me and Austin have in common? We've been getting adjusted forever. So, I really wish you came. I think you should come next year.
Yeah, well, I will, and I have a tire story now because of the weekend as well, like a
What happened
fucking
with the
crazy
tire?
tire story. So I told you I couldn't come because there's a nail in my tire.
Yeah.
And I don't want to drive all the way down there. And I totally Jimmy rigged it to fix it because I didn't want to, like, I had new tires on the way already, right? Like I was gonna get them. I'm like, I didn't want to blow out a tire. So anyway, I get my tires mounted on Tuesday. That same day, I hit a curb on a very
Oof.
special granite, like chipped out edge curb, so they're super sharp.
Yeah.
Freaking tore the sidewall
Oof.
of that
All
tire of
right.
a brand new set of tires. So I had to go get another new tire yesterday. And the guy was like, "Didn't I just see you here?" I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well, it's not easy to Uber there, so I'll tell you that. So,
well, Serenbe's a long. I mean, it's not that long, but again, like I said, it's like the village. It's like out in the middle of nowhere. You're like, boom, Serenbe.
well, I got my Uber driver on one of the nights home. I can't remember which night it was, but I was unsolicited 25-minute story of slaves and what they did to slaves down there. Apparently there's a
Oh,
lot of shit that
interesting.
went down there in Atlanta. I didn't know that.
Did you see any
Uh
cotton fields while you're down there?
not live, but
Oh man, they're beautiful when they're blooming. But anyway,
I
that's the first time I ever saw a cotton field.
I played my joke over and over again to all the staff members there that I got to hang out with. And I was like, so this is really like Get Out here. And they're like laughing their asses off. I'm like, You know, I'm glad people get that joke. That credit goes to my wife, though. That was my wife that came up with that
That's
last year.
hilarious.
So, yeah, and then I was gonna play as I kill Twisty, my thought was I'll bring T Dizzle back.
T
No,
Dizzle?
T Dizzle is my wigger persona from when I was 14 when I used to wear FUBU. And so I started doing some weird posts with the patch that because I used to love watching these guys who like are on Instagram who are like they're wiggers and they're like man hey King you gotta stay fresh. I'm going out there, I'm gonna go get a job tomorrow. And the next day they post on Instagram I didn't get the job. Like so that was my little like nod to
Well,
my
I think
wife.
you need to change. So we got to change the word from the W in word to white chocolate.
White chalk. Yeah, well, he's
How
not.
about that?
It's gone.
You're white chocolate. You can be
Trista's
black on the
here.
inside.
Tristan is here. It's Twisty is still there. We'll keep him around for
Twisty
like this
never goes
podcast.
away.
Never goes away.
You just
But
you just put Twisty on the back burner.
but
He only gets to hang out with certain special people.
I get to see someone else live that life and kill and rebrand. And that was I really think you would have enjoyed CEO Charlie or Charlie Rocket. He was the keynote speaker at Austin's event, and he did an amazing, I think one of the best workshops ever done for chiropractors. And I wasn't intentionally trying to fuck him up, but I asked the question. I probably asked the best question because that's what I do. And I was asking about innovation and where he sees the future of content. And he was like, dude, I don't give a shit about that. I want these chiropractors to learn the formula. And we got to go through more than a dozen videos. So here's some takeaways for you guys. If you're starting your video, Hi, it's Dr. Twisty. You've already fucked it up. You've already fucked your video up. So you got to start with a problem. You got to start with curiosity. You got to do this is validation for me because we just started rolling out video case studies on chiropractic results, and I would say 30% of his mantra during this workshop was you got to do show and tell, and you got to do before and after, and you got
If
to
you got a
tell.
problem, yo, I'll solve
Y
it.
you gotta you guys yes, exactly. You gotta show the problem, and you gotta show how you solved it, and that is what's engaging people. He didn't have anyone talking about doing dance videos. It was all education, but, start with their problem, start with a curiosity hook. There's a formula.
Curiosity is very C4C.
Yeah. So, and he was phenomenal. I'm gonna try to hire him to be an influencer for chiropractic results on the consumer side. So I'm really excited about that. And Austin's event was just as ever. It is turned into the best growth conference there. He is a magnificent teacher. He has delivered yet again in helping chiropractors scale and grow. And it was amazing to see clinics there that had, 5, 7, 12, 17 clinics. And then intermingled in were people that want to get there. And there was no ego, there was no clicks. Um, there is some North Stars to going, well, how do you get from here to there? And I think one of the big things for me takeaways is you got to take care of yourself. You got to do
Amen, brother.
you got to do cold plunges in the morning. You got to do
Mm,
6 mile
no.
runs.
Mm.
You got to start testing your poop after you poop and sniffing
That's
it,
a good time.
and making sure that your electrolytes are correct. And you got to be in bed before 10 because nothing good ever happens after 10 p.m. in Atlanta. I'll tell you that. So
But let's get down to the least common denominator, because if we were talking about a woman right now, what would people say? But isn't she good looking? But so let's just be honest here. Isn't Austin just a good looking guy?
Austin's a very handsome guy. He is, and you got to be. So you if you aren't born with that, you got to
You know who
think
he looks like though?
he looks like Gavin Newsom. But I think
I didn't say
I
it.
think he looks like Sylvester Stallone and Owen Wilson if they had a love child.
Oh, yeah, I could see
If you
that.
look at young Sylvester Stallone,
I
it's
see it.
Austin.
I see it.
Yeah.
I see it. I definitely see it. You know who I'm the love child of? My other doppelganger?
Who? I can't. Uh.
I am the love child of Martha Stewart and Bob Vila.
Well, ironic that.
I am Martha Vila.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Well, then it also ties to like you love doing little shit around the house too, right?
Exactly. So what and here's another one. You ready for this one? Because I'm a genius. Well, self-proclaimed, I'm sure, but whatever. M- Much like yourself. That's why we love each other. Mel Guyver,
Mel Guyver. I like it.
because I figure shit out.
Um. Do you think that what do you think that was built from childhood trauma that you had to like get there?
That's not trauma. That's all good times, dude.
Okay, it's all good times. Well, hey, before we keep diving in deeper, if you guys saw, I got to hang out in Charlotte with the amazing, and I'm gonna tell you this, the future of chiropractic should be Atlas Orthogonal. And I'll tell you why here later, because the robots are coming, and I'm gonna finally solve the answer that everyone's been looking for. But I got to hang out with Neil Pye. And first of all, if you guys, I would love for you to comment or send us a message about what you think. What do you think Neil is when you take a look at, if you know Neil, you don't answer. I thought he was Filipino. I thought he was Hawaiian. I was shocked at what his culture was, his background. But Neil is actually the creator of the Renew Light systems. So if you guys have been hearing us shout out this red light therapy partner that we have, if you go to my red light special, you can actually get a $3,500 off voucher to use for Renew Light systems. He went into the science of what he built and all his anti-inflammatory protocols, which I freaking love. That is helping people from everywhere from neuropathy to weight loss to everything in between.
And you know
Uh,
what you won't have to do if you do the red light?
what's that?
Play with your poop.
Well, I still think you need to play with your poop.
I agree, I'm just playing.
You gotta play with your poop all the time. But, I red light, myredlightspecial.com, you're gonna get the best red light unit out there. He has all the protocols built in. He's there for you backup if you're working with high level cases, and that's what was really exciting about being in Charlotte. I got to hang with the man, Dr. David Ritchie. This dude is fucking cool. And I've always been excited working with him the last couple months, but to go on site and get to see the sickest of the sick, Melba. I mean, like, there are people coming in to this clinic with things that they don't even have names and labels for. Like like before I go to sleep, I vibrate at night. They don't have a diagnosis for this. And these are people that have dealt with this for 20 years, and they're going, this is healing me. And what made my heart sing was these people were coming in and going, I'm out. I'm out. They're trained like I know I need to get checked. I need to get adjusted most likely. And I love when you can have a doctor tell you, no, you're good. You're holding. We're not going to adjust today. Have you ever had Atlas Orthogonal done?
I don't believe so.
Okay. So
Is that where they have the machine?
it's the machine. And so
The sweat
Twisty,
technique?
yes. So I got excited because, in the last 10 years, it's moved to like, can you just get me leads to can you book the leads to can you close the leads to eventually it's going to be, can you just fucking adjust the leads? And my brain is popping off going, we can roboticize the Atlas Orthogonal because it's all about specification. Oh, it's so beautiful. I mean, I got so excited. It's you have to be aligned right. You have to be positioned properly. You get this amazing device that hits that Atlas. And here's the other thing: all these patients are coming in going, my last chiropractor never talked about the Atlas. My last chiropractor never told me about the Atlas. And then they're getting these amazing results for, chiropractic. And they're talking about, the Atlas. Amazing shit. So highly encourage any young doc out there that might be listening to this that is thinking about what technique they want to use. If you want to work with high level cases that haven't solved shit, I mean, these are people that have gone to other chiropractors that have like the other chiropractors don't even understand hypermobility. And they were doing, manual adjustments on people that was actually making them worse, you know? So there's a reason why Dr. David Ritchie up in Valentine, up in Charlotte, North Carolina, is one of the top docs out there. I got to experience it. And I think my prediction is going to be one of the future leaders and experts of carrying this on because as most institutions, leaders pass on. We saw this with Parker. And we see this in other institutions when there's no Jim Parker. What happens for the next 20, 30, 20, 25 years is disarray. And eventually they got their shit together. And I know we don't agree on this, but I think Parker's back. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it to Vegas this year and hang out with
I
everyone,
think
but
that Parker has a medical doctor as their board chair.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that anymore. I
I
really, I
I
don't,
think they're just pushing
I don't.
chiropractors to become medical doctors, though.
I believe that they're validating. Here's my take. We have to put on the board for chiropractic results a medical doctor. It's going to be part of our AI compliance. That's what my AI compliance officer has advised us to do. And the reality is that the world is filled with who has the cultural authority. And until we can gain that, which I think we are living in the present time for chiropractors to stake their claim, their chair at cultural authority, no time better than ever than now. But the reality is that's who has authority when it comes to, we've talked about this
Well, if the
before.
time is better than now, then make it happen now, which I know you're working on, but, like, assimilation doesn't create authority on our behalf, it only continues their authority if we assimilate.
Um, I'll make this, let me say this. Assimilate, you're correct. But you can lovingly Trojan horse with assimilation to look, I learned this before, when if I wasn't such a pussy 5 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, or I wasn't so fucking drunk all the
Unless
time.
there's salsa in your eye.
Yeah. Um, you can take over another organization, another group. You can do what Donald Trump has done with the
You can do it
Republican
from the
Party.
inside, I get it.
You can. You have to be hyper focused, hyper vigilant, and I think that we could absolutely, with the right people in place, do that. And again, we're seeing what's happening with the Means brother and sisters being put in, with RFK being put in. Um, it's right there for us. So, we know who has a cultural authority, who has a topical
Touche.
authority, but look, again, we've talked about this before. I when a very well-versed chiropractor who understands the nervous system and the body and has been educated on functional health, I trust them better with medications than I would with a medical doctor in most cases. I mean, this goes back to, like, again, should chiropractors be allowed to prescribe? And this happened to me. I need to get an EKG because I'm over 40 and I had to switch my provider for Adderall, and I might be going off Adderall. I'm debating that might be the last ditch of Twisty anyways. I'm very
Hmm.
scared of doing it because there's a part of the limitless nature of that drug to me that allows me to do certain things, but I'm also like, I'm getting
I'm
over
just gonna
it.
be a squirrel. She'll just be more of a squirrel.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
Um, and to get an EKG, the provider I'm working with is telehealth. He goes, "You just call an urgent care or whatever." And I called her on urgent cares, and they're like, "Well, are you having a heart issues?" And I'm like, "No, I just want to get preventative, like, you know." And then I think about a chiropractor, if they could order this, and they would look at it from a preventive nature, just
Don't
like
you
they
have an
would.
Apple Watch, though? Apple Watch monitors EKG.
Does it? I don't know, but I mean, I gotta get a order read from an MD, right? Like,
Hmm.
see what the challenge is. I would love if chiropractors could do that and do an RO on that and get that done for them. But who
No,
knows?
I agree, that would be
I got
good.
2 weeks
There
to
are
decide.
limitations to the scope that could be absolutely expanded. I will not disagree with you.
Just to know data. Just to know data, and, like, I again, this goes back to chiropractic results. I wanna see, um, you know, what the outcomes and data is on post adjustment stuff. When I was at FCA, I was really excited. Um, First of all, I was excited because I saw your husband roaming around. I didn't get to see him, but I got to see a lot of other cool people too. And everyone was, I saw a couple old G's that were like hiding and putting their hats over their head. They're like, "This is such mixer place. This is so mixer." And I'm
My
like,
god.
and I'm going, there's a lot of cool toys here that
There's
are
a lot of great stuff at FCA.
about
There's a huge
analytics and
vendor.
data and um, I was going to vendors and going and shining a light on their stuff, going, you should be talking about this post adjustment, not just post supplement, like, which is where most of their heads are at. Like, what happens when you put this into a body, and then what do we test afterwards? And I'm going, you should be doing that when you do it. Like, you should be talking to these guys about using it with post adjustment, you know?
Well, you know what?
Um,
It's interesting that you bring that up 'cause, my husband is fairly involved in the MAHA movement, if you will.
yes.
And, there's been chiropractors on the MAHA calls and things like this, but guess what they don't talk about?
What? Anal-
Chiropractic. They
they're
talk
talking
about
about,
supplements,
yeah.
right? So there's this huge push, and even when you think about integration, right? Like there's this huge push to functional medicine, to supplementation, but like it's like we're missing the core. Like we can't get away from. I even tell my patients come in all the time, and they're like, oh, the exercises do the most for me. The dinner roll does the most for me. I'm like, no, dude, no.
No.
Nothing trumps the adjustment. It is the adjustment. That is the most important thing I can do for you. Like nothing changes the game until that happens.
Dude, that is fucking interesting because I see that in the clinics I was on site, and this is my challenge with chiropractic results and letting the patients be subjective versus objective. And we are going to be introducing a area where the patients can validate their results and add their experiences in. But when you ask, I've been on so many on-sites where I'm like, "Is it working?" is the question if you prompt them with, and they're like, "I don't know." But then if you prompt them with like, "Well, what did you come in with?" "Well, it was a shoulder issue." "And where was it at?" "Well, it was a 9 or a 10." "Well, where is it at now?" And the majority is it's gone, right? Like it's gone. And it's only been like 3 weeks or something like that. And you're right, but they'll attribute it to because they don't know. This is the same problem I have with chiropractic results. Like, I don't know what's happening, what's going on with AI, and what does this mean when it sources? Why is it so? I have to show people, hey, here's where you're ranking in ChatGPT, and then look over here. There's this source that says chiropractic results, and we got 3 of them there, and that's why you're ranking so high in chiropractic in ChatGPT or Perplexity or anything right now. And then it's like, but as soon as they leave, they're going to go, well, it's this guy who's doing this other stuff that I'm doing for things, right? Like that's what happens to human beings. So your table talk, this is why table talk's so fucking important. You got to anchor back what you're talking about. Yes, those exercises help. They help you get better outcomes out of your adjustment.
Yeah, the exercise is only there as an adjunct. It's a
Yes.
support for the adjustment. It's a
Yeah.
support for you as a whole. But again, I'm always like, nothing trumps the adjustment, period.
I think that's why that old school 80s therapeutic communication, as my dad would call it. When it's so funny because and look, I love all of you, and I know a lot of you guys listen to it. My people listen to this. It's funny on being on 20 plus on sites over the last year. I've only been checked and adjusted maybe 3 or 4 times. So David offered, he goes, "Hey, you want me to check you?" I'm like, "Yes, absolutely." Like, and he adjusted me with instrument, which my dad does, and he didn't do the AO because I wasn't prepped for that and all that kind of stuff. He just manually with instrument adjusting, and immediately I'm going because I've been trained as a patient. My breathing. I could feel the difference in my breathing. My eye clarity, like taking a microdose of mushrooms, which I always tell people that if you take a microdose of mushrooms, there's this focus thing that happens with your guess what? You don't need to. I don't need microdose of mushrooms. I could just get adjusted. And I went from breathing to clear vision to my energy came back. But I've been trained by my father to go when he's asking those questions post adjustment to anchor that to me. So now I'm trained after 40 years of being adjusted to go. And that's the funny thing about all these patients that have been being adjusted for 5, 7, 10 years. What's the number one reason you keep coming back? It just makes me feel good. It
So what
makes
did
me
your dad used to ask people post adjustment?
He would show them with their he would show them before the adjustment what their breathing was like,
Mhm.
and he would anchor to them how long can you go without food? Oh, weeks. Long can you go without water? Now, how are you breathing right now? I want you to feel like how long can you go out with a breathing well, breathing can't go along for long. And then he would adjust them, and then he would show them how they're breathing, and they go, "Oh my god, like what a difference." This is why I always love AK. I mean,
Good idea.
people shit on AK, but muscle testing is a phenomenal way to show people the before and after that they understand. People understand strength, like, and so you can call it whatever you want. Like like I mean, if you're properly trained in AK and muscle testing, you should be able to show the differences of pre and post adjustment. And I and I grew up with that where people would come in the office and be like, "Hey, let the magic man show you his trick." Well, they called him the burping guy after a while because my dad didn't give 2 fucks about burping in front of or farting in front of his patients. If this point in time you
Of
get
course
adjusted by
not. I
my
totally
dad,
see that from
he's
your
gonna
dad.
they go,
A
"Bah!"
well-dressed farting man.
Well-dressed farting man. And I'm starting I was at the C&B and I just ripped one in front of someone, and they looked at me with total disgust, and I'm like, "I don't give a shit anymore. I'm too old for that. I don't give a shit."
I
So
don't think I would rip one in front of someone.
I don't think most
No.
women would. I have yet to meet the equivalent of a female in that, but I get so excited about you know, there's a reason that these guys it wasn't the Mercedes 80s. They didn't have a Facebook. They didn't have a website. They were doing workshops, but they were doing them like internally. Their best referring uh source was their CAs, and they built churches of practices, but they did so by showing and telling. And this goes back to what Austin's guy at
Yeah, but they
the
also destroyed their bodies. They did it for nothing.
there's a lot of dude, there's a lot of truth, and yeah, I mean, I see that across the board with the OGs, and I feel for them. And you're right, that is something that I think we're solving finally. Because one, you should be paid. I mean, 240s, 220s under the table ain't the system we should be working in anymore. Which leads me to, I'm going to Scottsdale next week. Gonna go to Scottsdale. Gonna go to Close for Cairo.
Ooh.
I'm excited about hanging out with some really cool people. I've done a lot of onboards this week for Chiropractic Results. We've reached almost a 500,000 in 45 days as a ARR. For those people that aren't really business people, that means annual recurring revenue. We're doing almost $40,000 a month, and so we're halfway to 1 million almost already, just a month and a half in. And I've done a lot of onboards personally, and one of the questions that comes up, or one of the conversations, is the value of a patient. And I had a couple locations that are franchise locations, and they're like, well, it's worth like $750. And I nearly spit out my tongue. And I was like, you got to get the fucking Close for Cairo, dude. So I can't believe that we still have patients. I mean, that
Are
it
we talking
takes
about initial value or lifetime value? Because those
I
are two different numbers.
either one, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's worse if it's lifetime, but initial value, if we're
Yeah, I
talking,
mean, they're both bad. I
that's
agree.
bad. Um,
Let's see. Let me just off the top. My initial value is 5 times that.
yeah. And we're heading into the era where, again, we've talked about this a lot, but you should be at $5,000 to $7,000 for your initial. It is no joke what you guys provide out there. Now, some of you aren't doing what David Ritchie's doing, which I highly encourage people to get involved with. Again, I get excited about patients understanding chiropractic. When they're talking about the Atlas, that should rev you the fuck up. Like, that is cool. And they're going, well, this doctor didn't talk. I'm like, how did you go to 3 other 4? That was the average AO patient too. This is the good news for chiropractic. Patients don't give up because they have no other fucking choices. Like, so they're going to just keep finding you until in the process. But the average person I talked to in Charlotte was 3.5 chiropractors before they landed at his door. That's crazy. So
Well, at least they keep trying, and that's
at
what I tell
least they
people all
keep
the time. Because some
trying.
people are like, "Oh, I did this and I never did it again." I'm like, "Well," I said to one of my patients, I was like, "So, like, did you give up on men after the first time you had a bad date?"
I man,
No.
I wish I could get. I prayed to be gay for so long, man, because it would have been awesome. I would have been so awesome as a gay guy.
Well, as the MFG, that fits in that category.
I told my dad when I was younger, I was like, I hope to turn gay so I can just be with a rich old man who will take care of me. And man, I would have been a great gay guy, but I just couldn't do it. I tried. I didn't try. I should say that. I mean, I love butt play in my own self, but like, I remember Dusty Gay Guy. Shout out to Dusty Gay Guy when I was in my 20s. He worked for Carrier. He paid my bar tab when I was like 19 and 20. And then one day I just kept wanting to drink, as I normally wanted to keep drinking. And he's like, I got some vodka. He was from Charlotte. He was from North Carolina. He's like, I got some vodka in my Saab. And we went out to his Saab, and he gave me the bottle. It was like a holy grail for me. And he tried to like kiss me, and I felt his stubble, and I'm like, no, Dusty Gay Guy. No, Dusty Gay Guy. I can't do it, Dusty Gay Guy. But so it's unfortunate because I would have been good. And I wouldn't have to deal with the multiple personalities of the females in my life. So
You
because
still would. There'd still be women in your mouth, and
there's
like in your
only enough
life.
multiple personalities with me.
Gay men might be worse than women.
Well, I remember when I remember I had a manager at a video store when I was young, who was also in New York. They did stages for Broadway, and she's like, just remember, if you get in the hot tub, they're still men. They're men. They're men at heart. And, I was like, "Yep, you're right. They're still aggressive motherfuckers, and they gonna take no for an answer." So, uh, I tried to when I moved to Castro in San Francisco, I was so, like, I walked around the Castro with these guys that were standing around the corner with their dicks out, and I'm like, "Yeah,
Wow.
well, tried everything possibly in my life just to make my life easier and be a gay guy. Didn't happen." So,
You know, you either are or you aren't. I think
yeah.
that's just all there
As
is
Rick
to
Rem
it.
would say, either you get it or you don't.
For some, no explanation is needed. For others, no explanation is enough.
What's up for the rest of your week? What are you doing next week?
Well, I'm getting ready to fly down to, Nassau, here soon.
Oh!
The Uber's coming in 2 hours. I do need to finish packing. I'm
Oh,
mostly ready to go.
who goes to Austin Cohen goes to Nassau a lot, or he goes to you're going to the Bahamas then? Is that
Mhm, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
ooh.
Jill got the idea from, Courtney Gowan because she had posted it. I guess she's getting married right now, apparently in France.
Well, I didn't think she liked men.
She had a whirlwind romance with some guy that she met somewhere, and they're getting married now.
Oh, shit, it's gonna fuck up her business. There you go.
You
Nothing
think so?
nothing
Why?
like nothing like a good partner to fuck up your business. No, I'm just joking.
That's funny. That's how I
Uh
feel about men, like, people can be independent and still be married.
Well, I had, me and Kat had the, conversation. I'm like, I need you to step up. I need you to step up where we're going, where we're headed to. And, because we dealt with we bought this car for the business, put it on the business, and it went from a magical experience into the worst experience this last couple weeks. And as a testament to how stupid this world and country has gotten, uh, again, man in a world of soup that just has a fork, and I had to deal with eventually everyone came around. I still look like the asshole, so no matter what, you rant, rage, you throw shit, you yell at people, you call people cunts on the phone. You're gonna look like the idiot. So me culpa. I apologize to the horrible words I called Fisher Imports people and employees. I did buy 2 domains. Don't buy from Fisher Imports, and Fisher Imports it sucks.
Oh
Um,
my.
that's how bad it
Better
got.
watch out for slander.
Yeah, well, um, I please, I pray for that for every no. So, hey, if you ain't getting sued, you ain't doing business. But finally, my wife,
Just remember what we talked about, Tristan.
yeah, my
How does your anger serve you?
my wife came back and goes, "You were right." And that's all I wanted to hear was like, "They're so stupid." And I said, "Let me guess what she looked like and how much she weighed." This woman, so this person who handling our title kept messaging us back. "I need your FEIN number." And I go, "You mean our EIN number?"
Right.
And I had to send her Google screenshots of FEIN number versus EIN number are the same fucking thing. And can you just please give me the title of my car set, or just let us take care of it? So Kat has gone around in the last couple of days to the BMV here. We call it the BMV, not the DMV, and other places, and everyone's told her your husband was right. This dealership is making it so much harder for you. They don't know what, which is my case was, you don't know what you're doing. And if you are a business owner living in this world today, if your people know at least 80% of how to get shit done, you're ahead of 99% of the rest of the world, because the world is
Seriously.
getting so fucking retarded stupid.
People going to college right now don't even know how to read. That's the latest news. They're teaching college age kids how to read.
Yeah, we're all gonna be men and women in a world of soup equipped with forks.
We're going to be retired with these people supposedly paying our social security.
All right. Well, we'll miss you at Close for Cairo. Wish you were coming out to Scottsdale. I hope you have a wonderful time in the Bahamas.
What are you doing? Oh, you're going that's this weekend?
That's next weekend.
What
This
are you doing
weekend,
this
we're gonna go
weekend?
for Valentine's Day. I got my wife front row seats to Nate Bargatze. And
Who's that?
he's probably the best comedian today.
Oh,
The
I
best,
love
and he's
comedy.
clean, and he's clean. So,
Nice. Those are
yeah.
even better. Oh, so hey, I have an answer for you.
Yeah.
I said, how did your anger serve you? In this one instance, it served you perfectly because your wife said you are right. And you know what the
Oh,
only two words that are you know what the only three words that are better than I love you?
um,
Or on the same level as, I should say.
you a big boy.
You are right.
You are right. Or as the Asian masseuse said to me in my 20s, "Oh, you a big boy." All right, let's get out of here. It's time to work. Jam with you guys later. Thanks. Love to you all. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.